My name is Mr. Emmanuel Tekwo. I am your science facilitator. For today's lesson, we are going to look at the parts of the female reproductive system of humans. Let's have a look at the objectives for today's lesson. By the end of the lesson, learners will be able to, 1, explain the functions of the basic parts of the female reproductive system. 2, draw and label the female reproductive system. So, by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to state the functions of the female reproductive system. That is the basic functions of the female reproductive system. 2, you should be able to draw the female reproductive system and also label the parts of the female reproductive system. For our focus, we are just going to look at the basic 6 parts of the female reproductive system. Parts of the female reproductive system are 1, ovary. 2, fallopian tube, also known as oviduct. 3, uterus or womb. 4, vagina. 5, cervix. And 6, vulva. I know some of you are having some smiles drawn on your faces because of the parts we've mentioned so far. Now let's look at the external female reproductive system of humans. We want to have a look at the external view of the female reproductive system of humans. What you see in the diagram is the external view of the female reproductive system of humans. That's our focus, just the external view. Then let's look at the internal female reproductive system of humans. Now, this is how the female reproductive system looks like inside the females. Let's look at each of the parts that have been labeled in the diagram, the previous diagram. We'll take the parts one after the other, look at their function, look at what they do, and then have a look at a picture of that particular part and appreciate that part. Okay, so let's continue. The first part we are looking at is the ovary. What does it do? It produces the female sex cell or female gamete or eggs. It also produces the female sex hormone called estrogen, which controls the female secondary sexual characteristics. The eggs are also called ovum, plural, ova. Now, the picture you see, that structure which looks like an egg with a tube connected, which looks a bit pale, that is a diagram of the ovary. That is a diagram of the ovary. That's how the ovary looks like in the female. Let's move on to the next part. Our next part we'll focus on is the fallopian tube. We are going to look at the function of the fallopian tube. We'll also look at how the fallopian tube looks like, the inside of the fallopian tube, how it looks like. The fallopian tube, it is the site for fertilization or the place where fertilization takes place. It also serves as a link between the ovaries and the uterus. So the picture on your screens right now are the fallopian tube. Now, this is how it looks like. The one on the right, on the left, is the full tube. The one on the right is a vertical cross-section through the tube. And this is how the tube looks like. You can also look at how the ovaries looks like over here. Now let's move on to the next part. Uterus. It is the site or place where implantation and development of the embryo takes place. It also provides shelter and nourishment for the egg that has been fertilized during pregnancy. So the uterus has several functions, but this is just a few of its functions. At least just two of the functions the uterus undergo. Let's look at the cervix. It serves as a link between the womb and the vagina. It also stretches during birth to allow passage of the baby. That is a picture of the cervix on your screen. That's how it looks like. The next part we are going to look at is the vagina. I know some of you will be smiling by now. What is the function of the vagina? What does it do? It receives the erect penis during sexual intercourse and also acts as a passageway for baby during birth. Another function of the vagina is that it serves as the route through which menstrual blood leaves the body during periods or menstruation. Now the diagram on my right, that's diagram A. That's the diagram A. Is the entrance to the vagina. The entry point of the vagina is where the arrow is pointing to in the diagram. Then diagram B is how the inside of the vagina looks like. So that is a vertical cross-section of the vagina. This shows how the inside of the vagina looks like. Let's move on to the next part, the vulva. It is the area containing the external genital organs of a female. The area containing the external genital organs of the female. What does it do? It protects a woman's sexual organs and also serves as the center of a woman's sexual response. The picture in your view, the entire structure is what we call the vulva. So when you talk about the vulva, the entire structure you see in your view is what we call the vulva. Now let's move on to the next part, which is called the clitoris. It is a very sensitive organ in front of the vulva. What does it do? It helps arouse the sexual feelings of a woman. The diagram on my left, that's the vulva. You can see the labeling of the clitoris. The diagram on my right is the separated clitoris on its own, the organ called clitoris. That is the organ. That is how it looks like. Now let's look at the diagram of the female reproductive system. That is all the parts we've mentioned so far being brought together to form one system, one organ That is the female reproductive system. So, on your screens, you can see, to my left, we have the fallopian tube. That's how it looks like. We have the uterus. So all the inside is what we call the uterus. Then the cervix, as you saw earlier on, the entry point. So that is the neck of the cervix. Then we have the vulva. Then we have the vagina. And then we are also having the endometrium. And last but not the least, the ovary. So when all these parts are put together, this is how the structure of the female reproductive system of humans looks like. I hope you are happy and you are enjoying the lesson. Okay, let's have a quick exercise. Identify and label the following parts of the female reproductive system. So I want you to write the letters down. A, B, C, D, and E. Now, give the names of each of the following parts you've written down. Let's go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we shall look at the answers.
Finally, our dream has come true. Our wish has been granted.
It is now possible for us to have
Live interactive lessons
with qualified and professional teachers, safely, comfortably, and peacefully at home,
anywhere here in Ghana or abroad,
any level of education at which you are, primary,
J.H.S. or SHS.
all year groups and programs are covered. All you need is a smartphone, tablet, laptop,
or desktop computer with a webcam and a reliable internet connectivity. You may call it data, then you are good to go.
Now,
Inform your parents or guardians to text your name, class, and age to the following numbers to get you registered.
024-6137-604
Or 05922935567.
or 0593870-899. E-learning,
Extended lifelong learning.
home-based TV.
Total enjoyment.
Welcome back from the break. Let's have a look at the answers. A, the part labeled A is the cervix. The part labeled B is the fallopian tube. The part labeled C is the uterus. The part labeled D is the ovary. And part E is the vagina. You can mark for yourself. So we are going over the answers again. So as we go over, do your best to mark. Part A is the cervix. Part B is the fallopian tube. Part C is the uterus. Part D is the ovary. And part E is the vagina. I hope you got the answers right. If you got the answers right, then clap for yourselves. Let's continue with the lesson. We are going to look at the functions of the female reproductive system of humans. The entire female reproductive system, what does it do? We want to know its work. Already we have looked at the parts, the individual parts, and we looked at the functions of the individual parts. But now, as a unit, as a whole, what work does it do as a system? 1, it produces the female gamete or sex cell. 2, it transports the egg to the oviduct, where fertilization may occur. 3. It produces the female sex cell. 3. It produces the female sex hormone called estrogen. Estrogen that controls the female secondary sexual characteristics. 4. It protects and nourishes a fertilized egg until it is fully developed. Let's go over the functions of the female reproductive system again. 1. It produces the female gamete or sex cell. 2. It transports the egg to the oviduct, where fertilization may occur. 3. It produces the female sex cell. 3. It produces the female sex hormone called estrogen. Estrogen that controls the female secondary sexual characteristics. 4. It protects and nourishes a fertilized egg until it is fully developed. Let's note the following points from our lesson. Singular, ovum, that is the egg. Plural, ova. I want you to repeat it with me. Singular, ovum. Plural, ova. Then, singular for spermatozoon. That's the sperm. Plural, spermatozoa. Singular, spermatozoon. Plural, spermatozoa. Singular, ovule. Plural, ovules. Now let's take notes of the differences between ovum and ovule. The egg found in the ovary of flowering plants, into bracket plants that undergo fertilization, is called ovule. Repeat it with me, ovule. While the egg found in the ovary of female humans, into bracket, female animals, higher animals, is called ovum. Repeat it with me, ovum. Now, both ovum and ovule are eggs, just that one is produced in plants and the other is produced in animals, that is, higher animals. In this case, the female of humans. Now let's compare the two reproductive systems we have studied so far. The male and the female reproductive system. The male reproductive system, we have sperm duct. The female reproductive system, we have fallopian tube. So we are comparing sperm duct to fallopian tube. The male reproductive system, we have testes. The female reproductive system, we have ovary. The male reproductive system, we have penis. The female reproductive system, we have vagina. Now, as you can see, it is only in the female reproductive system of humans that we have uterus. Uterus is absent in the male reproductive system of humans. I'm making the point again. As you can see clearly from the diagram, it is only in the female reproductive system of humans that we have uterus. The male reproductive system of humans, uterus is absent. What it means is that there is no uterus in the male reproductive system. Now, the organs of the male reproductive system produce sperm and deliver it to the female reproductive system. So, the male reproductive system, that is, for this topic, reproduction, what it does is that it produces sperms and then transports the sperm to the female reproductive system. The female reproductive system produces eggs and provides a place for a new human to grow and develop before birth. What it means is that the sperms that are transported from the male reproductive system to the female reproductive system undergo what we call fertilization, whereby the sperms meet the eggs in the female. Then the eggs undergo growth and development to form a fetus. I want you to look at the diagram again, just for some few seconds. Okay. And with what we've done so far, try your hands on these questions. Question 1. What is the name given to the hormone responsible for the female secondary sexual characteristics? I take the question again. What is the name given to the hormone responsible for the female secondary sexual characteristics? Question 2. The part of the female external genitalia that serves as the center for female sexual arousal is called. The part of the female external genitalia that serves as the center for female sexual arousal is called. Question 3. State the difference in function between the ovary and fallopian tube. State the difference in function between the ovary and fallopian tube. We are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we shall look at the answers.
Finally, our dream has come true. Our wish has been granted.
It is now possible for us to have
Live interactive lessons
with qualified and professional teachers, safely, comfortably, and peacefully at home,
anywhere here in Ghana or abroad,
any level of education at which you are, primary,
J.H.S. or SHS.
all year groups and programs are covered. All you need is a smartphone, tablet, laptop,
or desktop computer with a webcam and a reliable internet connectivity. You may call it data, then you are good to go.
Now,
Inform your parents or guardians to text your name, class, and age to the following numbers to get you registered.
024-6137-604
Or 05922935567.
or 0593870-899. E-learning,
Extended lifelong learning.
home-based TV.
Total enjoyment.
Welcome back, viewers. Let's look at the answers to the questions. Question 1. What is the name given to the hormone responsible for the female secondary sexual characteristics? And the answer is estrogen. Estrogen. Question 2. The part of the female external genitalia that serves as the center for female sexual arousal is called? The answer is vulva. Vulva. Question 3. State the difference in function between the ovary and fallopian tube. State the difference in function between the ovary and fallopian tube. Let's look at the answers. Let's look at the answer to the question. The ovary produces the female sex cell or female gamete or eggs, whilst the fallopian tube is the site for fertilization or the place where fertilization takes place. I want you to mark your answers to the question. And if you got all correct, clap for yourselves. Let's go on to the assignment for today. Draw a well-labeled diagram of the female reproductive system. Question 2. Give one function of each of the following parts. A. Vagina. B. Clitoris. C. Uterus. D. Fallopian tube. E. Ovary. F. Cervix. Question 3A. State two differences between the male and female reproductive structure in humans. 3B. Give one similarity between the male and female reproductive structure in humans. You can take your phones and take a screenshot of the questions. Thank you. It has been a wonderful time with you. Till we meet again.
Finally, our dream has come true. Our wish has been granted.
It is now possible for us to have
Live interactive lessons
with qualified and professional teachers, safely, comfortably, and peacefully at home,
anywhere here in Ghana or abroad,
any level of education at which you are, primary,
J.H.S. or SHS.
all year groups and programs are covered. All you need is a smartphone, tablet, laptop,
or desktop computer with a webcam and a reliable internet connectivity. You may call it data, then you are good to go.
Now,
Inform your parents or guardians to text your name, class, and age to the following numbers to get you registered:
024-6137-604
or 05922935567
or 0593870-899. E-learning,
extended lifelong learning,
home-based TV,
total enjoyment.
Preview.